Hey Dude, Flix Anonymous. I don't know, it's just awesome.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Human beings were not meant to sit in little cubicles staring at computer screens all day.
Plan B is just to keep on giving her. Like, you work hard. That's what's that. Is that a plan? Yeah, that's a plan right there.
The guy opens his door and gets shot, and you think that of me. No. I am the one who knocks.
I know what you're thinking. I've kind of lost track myself. Being this is a 44 Magnum, the most powerful handgun in the world, and you blow your head clean off. You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel lucky? Well, do you, bunks?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Flix Anonymous on CannabisInCanada.ca, the LeagueOfManchildren.com, and the DailyHive.com, right?
In Montreal, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto.
The
Daily
T-Dot.
Hive. National.
That's right, national. I'm Steve Stebbing. That's Trevor Dueck.
Trevor. Yes.
Trevor
Yes,
Dueck.
that's
The
my
national Trevor Dueck.
name. Yes. Because we're national.
The Peter Mansbridge of weed.
I love that. I am the Peter Mansbridge of weed.
Peter Mansweed.
Yeah. So, episode what?
This is 34.
So, let's see. Goaltender, number 34.
Mika Kiprusov from
Mika?
the Calgary Flames.
Nicely done, my friend. Nicely
Yeah.
done.
The Kipper himself.
Apparently, he smoked cigarettes.
Really?
Yeah, like he would have a dart like after like games and stuff.
Apparently, so would Carey Price, I heard as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
I wouldn't doubt it. They seem like those kind of chaps.
Everybody in Quebec smokes cigarettes.
And
Play hockey,
apparently
definitely
in
smoke
Finland
cigarettes.
as well.
Yeah.
But yes, 34.
Uh-huh.
We're 34 deep now. Haven't
We're
missed
almost-
a week yet.
Have we passed your age yet?
No, we're at my age right now. Then
We are at your
34,
age?
Yeah,
okay,
34
we're
would
almost
be mine.
creeping up on mine.
Yeah, 34 would be me.
Okay.
So you want to, know how old Steve is? 34.
34. Never ask a guy what his age is.
Is that a rule?
I don't know. We're making isn't that?
We're just making them.
Why
up as we
can't
go
Why
on.
can't you ask a woman her age? I think that's so weird.
I don't know. That's a rabbit hole. I don't think you want any.
No, I don't know.
Part of.
I don't understand it.
That's
just an
get your
age.
hand slapped.
It's just a number.
But we have 7 movies opening this week. 4 of them are in wide release.
Okay.
So we'll start off with those ones. One of them you can actually catch me and Trevor talking about on the Toddcast podcast this week.
Our Flix Pick Movie
It's our
Minute.
Flix Picks Movie Minute, brought to you by the Cannabis Growers of Canada.
Yes.
And it is a movie that people have been waiting 20 years for. So take a look at a clip right here.
Drop in section, climb Angels 225, vector 330.
Yeah. I didn't really like the first one.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
I don't feel
believe-
like we need like that. Look at that CGI. That looks terrible. Sorry.
Just a weak spot for the first one, and that's a very, very, very short clip. But
Terror.
this is Independence Day Resurgence, or what other people have been calling ID42. Like I said, been waiting 20 years for this one. We have returning cast members Jeff Goldblum, Bill Pullman, Vivica A. Fox, Brent Spiner, Judd Hirsch. We also have new people. We have Liam Hemsworth. We have that actor that's playing the son of Stephen Hiller, who was, of course, played by Will Smith in the original because he wanted like $20 million a picture.
Yeah, Will.
He's not a guy that commands that kind of
Not
paycheck
anymore.
I honestly, I like Will Smith. I just don't think he's been commanding that kind of money anymore in his movies.
Yeah.
It's kind of not selling. Roland Emmerich comes back to direct it, and he also wrote it as well with some other people. The embargo is already lifted as far as we're recording this one. It's already at 46% and dropping. It's not doing very well. I would like to make my point right now to shit on Fox Studios.
Oh, really?
For scheduling a screening for press for Trevor and I and all the other press in Vancouver to go see, and then canceling it a week later and then not rescheduling it again.
Stop pissing Steve off.
Well, just I mean, you are obviously don't have the confidence in your movie if you do stuff like that. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely, it'll totally make sense. It's like, you know what, we saw a film tonight that, you know, they gave us a screening. Was it a fantastic film? Well, we're gonna review it in a little bit, but you know, at least, you know, they put it out there.
Yeah.
You know, if you know, it's not like we're expecting an Academy Award. You're not going to Independence Day 2 to see fantastic acting, and you're going there for
disaster porn.
You're going disaster porn. It's, you know, little aliens attacking. I want to see more White House blowing up.
Yeah, I want to see if they rebuilt the White House from the first one.
Yeah,
you know, because apparently they're acting now with alien technology, and it turns out that was just the first ship was just a search party. Mm-hmm. Now the real invasion comes, which is an even bigger ship, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You know what? The reason I want to see is Jeff Goldblum. I really dig Jeff Goldblum. Mm-hmm. So is there a curious part of me that wants to see this movie, even though that Fox screwed us out of seeing this movie? Yeah, I still kind of.
It's a really expensive B film. You know what you're getting, right? So just put it out there, play it, let your critics see it. I mean, people of course are going to give it a bad review because it's not for everybody, right? Yeah. But you know, the first film wasn't that fantastic, so I mean, it is what it is.
It does not age well either.
No, it doesn't.
But I wouldn't mind seeing it. So if you're gonna go out and see this weekend, why not? Just turn your brain off and go see stuff blow up. And
this is what the summertime's all about. It's eating popcorn like zombies and watching the pretty lights.
That's exactly it. So the one that Trevor alluded to is it's a new. Very small in cast film. It's basically just Blake Lively against a shark. The film is called The Shallows. Take a look at a clip here. That shot I loved, where the water's cresting on the...
There were some nice shots, because they obviously went somewhere very beautiful in the world. Mm-hmm. The underwater shots were nice. There we go.
Yeah.
That was about it. I want to see how many times we get to see her bum.
One.
Because throughout this movie, there's a lot of bum shots. If you want to see a lot of Blake Lively, then this is a movie to see.
But not quite all of Blake Lively.
But enough. Look, Mike.
I'm okay.
Let's make sure we keep the boobs.
Careful, you know. I think I'll be all right.
Oh, I wonder if this is going to be the shot with the really, really, really terrible CG. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
The face replacement on this CG shot, that CG shot there is brutal. Just brutal.
And the shark got bigger and bigger. Like at different scenes, the shark, like right there, the shark looked like a decent size, and then all of a sudden the shark gets really big.
Yeah.
More menacing.
You know, so basically the movie follows Blake Lively, plays, she's a girl that kind of took a break from med school to go to the beach where her mother went when she was pregnant with her, and just kind of like, I guess, getting connected to her mother.
Right, yeah.
And then she gets attacked by a shark and ends up on like a piece of a coral reef as the tide is going down. The tide is out, so she's able to sit on this. And she's basically, it's her against the shark. She has to wait out the shark and figure out a way to survive, and she's by herself.
And the tide's coming in.
Yeah. Trevor wasn't a big fan of this movie.
Well, what did you think?
I thought it was a fun thriller ride. I think it succeeds exactly where it was supposed to be, and it's a survival thrill ride. That's essentially what it is. It's you know, a woman against nature. I think it'll appeal to on that fact alone. I think you know, the girls will enjoy it on that fact, and the guys will enjoy it on the fact of watching Blake Lively in essentially a bikini the whole movie.
Yeah, I'll give the movie that she's in a bikini the entire film, and so there were some nice shots. A lot of those shots. You could probably have a good drinking game for that. I can't ignore she gets her leg bitten, and you know, she's able to, you know, thank goodness she's a doctor, or gonna be a doctor, and she, you know, gets her leg cinched up, but she's still able to swim like, you know, an Olympic swimmer, and you know, everything's fine for, you know, a day and a half as she viciously swims from place to place and fights off a shark. She's totally good. So I don't know, man. I had a lot of problems with it. Everything was very convenient, very formulaic. I didn't think the CGI was that great. I think if you're going to do a shark movie, let's do a smart shark movie, right?
Well,
we were talking about one earlier today about the the divers that were stuck in the in the water.
Open water.
Open water.
Open water.
That
yeah.
was a smart thrill ride of a shark movie, right? Because we already have Jaws. I mean, whatever you think of Jaws nowadays, who knows? But that at the time was really cutting edge film, and it was a very scary film, and it was a thrill ride. It was a smart shark movie at the time, and just like you were saying, open water, right? So if you're gonna do a shark movie, I don't like this. I mean, the only thing that this film was missing was a giant tornado. Okay, it needed a tornado and a shark.
I don't think it
wasn't
that
a good
corny.
movie at all. I was chuckling because the acting was terrible. I mean, the writing was probably the biggest problem, and that's why she sounded. Some of her lines were just so painful.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, man. Like I said, I think I've shit on it enough. I really didn't like it.
I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. That's what I'm going to roll with.
I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 5.
All right, cool. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to... so let's set this up. Today, we record on Wednesdays. I had a long day today already. This was my third... This is my third... The Shallows is my third screening today. I have already done 2 already.
You're hardcore, man. Good Canadian kid getting out there, seeing the movies, you know.
Don Cherry approves. But the beginning... My day started... with this film. This is the new Matthew McConaughey film where he is a Civil War soldier in the Free State of Jones. Take a look.
Mr. Moses, what are you?
Free man, Captain.
All right.
Because you cannot own a child of God.
Really, he had to do that right there.
He should have.
Okay.
Kind of wish he did.
No, you cannot, can you? You can own a horse, you can own a mule, or a cow, or an ox, but you cannot own a child of God.
How was Matthew?
I as much as I love Matthew McConaughey, he doesn't work all the time.
No.
And I mean, there are parts in this movie where it does work, and there are parts in this movie where it doesn't work. And basically, he plays a medic in the Confederate Army who deserts once he witnesses his nephew die on the battlefield. He deserts and brings the body home, and then decides to help the people there retain their land and retain their belongings from the other Confederate Army members of the Confederate Army that are coming in to try to take it. So he kind of forms his own rebel army to take these people on. This movie, I thought the first act was interesting, and then it just starts to meander all over the place, and just I don't know where the film is going, and then it gets to an ending that's just kind of like, I don't really know how to end this, so here, and it's a 2 hour and 20 minute movie. And it feels that. It feels 2 hours and 20 minutes long. And Gary Ross, for all the big projects they've given him, like the first Hunger Games movie and Seabiscuit and everything, he has yet to make a very interesting film.
Okay.
And Free State of Jones is just not interesting.
No.
I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5.
Wasn't a fan, eh?
No, not
I didn't
really
get a chance to see it, so
Yeah.
I was kind of curious what you thought.
Yeah, it's just not interesting enough for me.
Okay.
And Civil War is something that doesn't really get touched on a lot in war movies, and you kind of expect something interesting out of it.
I'm kind of getting tired of that timeline. I think there seems to be a lot of those films that are getting made along that timeline, and I'm kind of getting bored with it.
Yeah.
There are other parts of American history that you can focus on and make movies about.
Yeah.
You know, do we really need, another movie on slavery, or do we need another movie on the Civil War, or, you know what I mean? Like, just like we don't need another movie on the Vietnam War. But, like, there are other parts of history that would be more interesting, I would think.
Yeah. Well, Free State of Jones is not one of them.
No.
So let's move on to our last wide release of the week. And this is a movie that majority of people are going to hate. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. This comes from the director Nicholas Winding Refn, one of my favorite working directors, probably my favorite living director right now.
You have a man crush.
I do have a total man crush on this guy. If you hated the movie Only God Forgives, you're probably going to hate his new movie, The Neon Demon. Take a look.
Am I staring?
Oh, we got French subtitles.
It's French subtitles for our French friends in Montreal on the Daily Hive.
There we go.
Just have such
Weird
beautiful
comedy,
skin.
that's for you. It's for you.
I'm Ruby, by the way.
Oh. Just getting the blood off her.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a
This
name,
is like
or
the
you want me
very
to guess?
first dialogue in the movie.
Jesse. Jesse. And you just get to LA, Jesse? How'd you know? You've got that look. Oh, don't worry, honey. That whole deer in the headlights thing is exactly what they want. Here, let me help you with that. Are you a model? No. I do makeup.
Oh.
So the story centers around Elle Fanning's character, who plays Jessie. She's a new model, she's just new to LA, and she wants to get into the modeling business, and it's basically the whole film is a social commentary on beauty as currency.
Right. Cool.
Because everyone tries to get the plastic surgery to look like something like Jessie, but Jessie is an all natural and all beauty, and people try to like leech off of that and everything. And it's definitely an art film. It is definitely out there. It's definitely twisted. It's got an amazing soundtrack from Cliff Martinez. The end of the film, if you stick to the credits, has a song, a brand new song written for the movie by Sia, which is fucking incredible. I love this movie, and I just love Refn's work. Like, I really, really dig this guy. Unfortunately, you know, the Rotten Tomatoes and Metascore not loving it. It's 50% and 55%, but I think it is that polarizing. There's no gray area on this one. You either love this movie or you hate this movie. There's no in between. This is my favorite movie this year, right now.
Same director as Drive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Which
is a movie that was kind of accessible to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did dig on that movie.
But it is pretty artsy in its own self, right?
Very much. Especially when you watch it more and more, you start to pull more. And like Only God Forgives is the same. And Neon Demon is a movie that the more I watch it, the more I'm going to pull from it. Because when I was writing my review for it, it was just kind of taking all the things apart that I was thinking about in the movie, and it reminds me of David Lynch's Mulholland Drive quite a bit.
Okay, yeah.
There are a few other things that it really reminds me of, and it's watching something beautiful and innocent just get deconstructed and turned into something monstrous. And I think it's very, very interesting.
Keanu Reeves is in it.
Keanu Reeves is in it too. They never show him in any of the trailers. I kind of don't want to give away who he is in the movie, but it's really fucking interesting. And you've never seen Keanu like this, ever.
Yeah, cool,
ever,
man.
Ever. So this is a 5 out of 5 for me, bro.
Oh, yeah! Boom. Look at that.
That's how it goes. That's how it goes. When we do a 5 out of 5, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we got.
That's
okay.
Yeah, man. So,
technically, I never got to rate it, though.
Yeah.
But, you know, I feel the power.
There you go. Feel it.
I do want to see it, though, and when I check it out, I'll make sure I'll let you know how I thought.
Definitely. All right, so let's head into our 3 limited picks this week, or limited new releases this week. The first one is called The Fits, and it's taking all the festivals by storm. It did very well at Sundance. It's been nominated for 10 awards, won 5. So it's doing well. And you're going to be able to see this. Just check your local listings. It's a new film from a first-time writer-director and a first-time actress. It's called The Fits. Take a look.
You trying to break your wrist?
What do you care?
Dang, dancing must really got you weak. Dang. What up? Come on now, Tom. What's wrong?
I'm scared.
Scared? Scared of what? It's all in your mind. Trust me, they gonna get better.
Okay. This movie blew me away. I had no idea. Didn't watch any trailers. I didn't read anything up on it. I just went into this film cold, and it's really quick. It's only an hour and 12 minutes long. Like, it's very, very quick.
Oh, awesome.
It is so well done. Basically, it follows Tony, played here by Royalty Hightower, in her first role. She is incredible in this role.
Her first role.
It's her very first. She's never been on camera before, never acted before. This is her very first time.
That's always so interesting.
So interesting, especially with child actors, because it can go either way. But she trains with her brother to be a professional boxer. But deep in her heart, she really wants to be part of this dance troupe that also trains at the same Cincinnati rec center. So she starts to... she's a little more awkward, because when it comes to boxing, she's crisp. She's very, very methodical. She's very trained. But when it comes to dancing, she's very awkward at first. And it deals with the whole social hierarchy thing, because she's a very introverted person. And this is her trying to be an extrovert and just kind of be out there in the world and start to interact with people. But in one of her lessons, the teacher falls down and has this epileptic seizure and just seizing on the ground. But then it starts to be contagious and and going to the next person, and the next person and the next person. And there's this deep psychological paranoia that starts to envelop this movie as I call this movie a psychological drama, because it starts you at this very innocuous point where you don't really know what everything is, and then it just starts putting you through these loops of like what's going on,
it's a mind fuck, eh?
Yeah, until it gets to this high point at the very end of the movie, and you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
This movie astounded me. I don't want to give anything more away to it than that. This one is also a 5.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right. That's
Power is within us.
That's right. 2 5 out of 5s on this episode. Holy shit. Okay? But the Fitz, you're going to want to see this movie before everybody else sees this one, so you can tell them that you've seen it, and don't ever give it away. Any of this movie. Let people go into this one cold, because it is really quite the experience.
Okay.
Definitely.
I have it at home.
There we go. Yeah.
I'm going to watch it later.
Definitely check that one out. Another one is a documentary. It's a South Indian documentary. And it's about a bunch of people that go to this temple, this ashram in South India, to give the questions about life and everything to the high guru there, and it's called Gurukulam. Here's a look at the trailer right here.
Don't a lot of tourists go.
Yeah. Some go 3 months, some stay up to 2 years.
People say that I'm a guru and all that. I am just a normal human being. So. In fact, too normal.
Interesting.
So if you want to see me, the observer's, the knower's self, the truth, you need to open your eyes.
Very spiritual film.
Very spiritual film, which will probably be a roadblock for a lot of them.
Kind of like a faith-based film.
Kind of, yeah. In the spiritual sense, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's interesting looking.
Such a unique part of the world.
It is.
Such an interesting lifestyle.
I don't think South India gets a lot of media exposure either, so that's kind of interesting as well. And like the ashrams and the different places hidden, because they're all kind of hidden in the forest and stuff. Where you get to like New Delhi and stuff, and everything's just so congested and on top of each other and just right
busy.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a simpler area of the country.
Yeah.
I think when people are like, oh, I really want to go, I think a lot of it is that
this is what they see,
the
right?
lushness of it, rather than the reds and the browns and the very
reminds me
muted colors.
I know it's a little it's different, but it kind of reminds me of Tibet. You know, there's Tibetan monks.
Definitely. But I think the whole thing of the spirituality of this documentary is only going to appeal to a certain audience.
Yeah.
It was very tough for me to get it. I tried 3 different times, and on the 3rd time I got through to the end, but I don't even know how to review it. It was like that. It was that tough for me, really.
That would be interesting to me, but like you, I'd probably be watching it late at night, and it would put me. I know it would put me to sleep. Yeah, I mean, I would love watching it probably, but it would be so hypnotic and so slow moving.
Yeah,
and that I'd be like you. It'd take me about 5 or 6 times to get through it.
Yeah,
I give up probably after the 2nd time if I can't get through a film.
Exactly, and I almost on the 3rd time I almost gave up, but I got through it. But it's just it didn't reward me with anything because I had hard times accessing the film. Yeah, really, it was just a bunch of words and dialogue on screen to me, and I really didn't connect with a lot of it at all. So that's why I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5. I think for somebody that is more in touch with that side of them, Gurukul will be a film that they find very interesting and probably inspiring. But
and people who want to learn about that part of India, who've got a deep interest in that for sure. Like you're saying, it'll appeal to them. So yeah.
If anything, Gurukul is like a good commercial for South India. Really.
Come.
Come to Gurukul, ask the questions.
Ask, learn things, be enlightened.
Exactly. The Fits was a 98% certified on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, so okay, we're going back here to
the Fits again, and Metascore was 89 on that one. But on Gurukul, 50% Rotten Tomatoes, 51% Meta. So I think there is that divide of there are people that really like it
because they're already connected
to it,
or appreciate it,
and then those are just like me, and they're just like, what, what is this? So I wasn't a big fan, but like I said, you're spiritual. Check your local listings, and you would probably like Gurukul.
Makes for a good couch lullaby.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. And the final one this week, it's a Korean film from a director named Hong Jing-na, who did a movie years ago, 2008, called The Chaser, a cat and mouse thriller that I just love. I adore that film so much. He is back with a new film called The Wailing. Here's a look right here.
이렇게 소문이 바다한 말이요. 무슨 이유가 있는 거요?
Yeah, Korean.
요새 자꾸 동네에서 사람 죽어나가는 거. 그놈이랑 뭔 연관이 있는 거요? 싹 다 그 양반이 오거나 생긴 일들 아니요. 여기다 뭔 일이 다는데?
여기서 다 죽여붙였어.
직접 본 거야?
한번 봤지.
맞는가?
이 뭐가 이제 이거 뭐야 이거?
아따.
자네 며칠 전에 만나면 안 되는 것을 만난 적 있지? 아내가 그곳을 건드려 버렸어?
Korea is such an interesting place.
I love
films that come out of Korea.
I love Korean films, and I've heard some really interesting ones about this one. But like I saw The Devil. There's so many. Thirst, Old Boy. Korea's had some amazing. Old Boy, The Piper, which I saw at VIF, another amazing Korean film. Oh, yes. So I've heard nothing but good things. Our good friends Josh and Dylan saw this movie already, and they raved about it. They say it's a mix of genres, like different thriller genres, like a little bit of a zombie story, a little bit of an infection story, and it's just a total mixing. And like I said, this filmmaker is incredible. The Chaser is an amazing film. So The Wailing is definitely on my list. Unfortunately, they were not able to give me a screener for this one. There wasn't one available. But I'm going to say go out and check this one out. It's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and 81 on Metacritic.
That's nuts. That's not this. So it's limited release. You got to, like we say every show, for some of these, you really got to dig in your local listings and try to find it.
36
local theaters.
positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, though.
Yeah, okay.
And zero not.
Perfect.
Zero rotten reviews.
Excellent, man. Like we were saying when we were running the clip, so many great films are coming out of Korea.
Yeah, some of the best films, I think, internationally come out of Korea, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'm always curious. As soon as I see like a film coming out of the Asian market, I'm like, okay, where is it from? Well, Korea, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm
a lot of talent there.
Yeah,
great storytellers.
Definitely. But the Wailing, I mean, that trailer is all over the place. I'm totally in. I want to see the Wailing. But yeah, check your local listings for that one. Now, let's move on to the next part of our show, which is our Netflix and VOD recommendations. All right, so this week I'm pulling from the VOD and the Blu-ray pile because one of the best films that you're going to see this year is now available for you to watch on both formats. It is Jeff Nichols' written and directed, kind of the Hollywood big budget version of his films. It's got Michael Shannon in it. It's called Midnight Special. Take a look here.
Roy, I'll get him here.
If he's not dead.
It's one of my favorite movies this year so far.
Oh, so solid.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking up because I want to watch it over and over again because I think there's subtleties that you kind of miss in the first pass through. Yeah. As with Jeff Nichols' films, that's just kind of how they go.
You don't.
It doesn't matter. Good people die every day believing in things.
Roy spent 2 years watching another man raise our son.
She was very good in this.
And I usually not a big fan of
He
Kristen
did what I
Dunst.
couldn't.
No?
Usually not.
I don't mind her.
I'll do
She's
anything.
incredibly solid in this movie, and there's such a mystery. There's such a mystery to both Michael Shannon and Kirsten Dunst because, I mean, the basic storyline. The movie starts you off on the middle of like a kidnapped road trip type thing.
Yeah.
As Michael Shannon and Joel Edgerton have this kid in the backseat who's wearing goggles, and you don't know what's going on. The kid's played by Jaden Lieberher, who is incredible in this movie.
He's really good. Yeah.
He's so good, but. It's kind of like an origami like crane. It just the movie kind of just opens itself up.
It does, yeah.
Throughout the movie, and you start to see more detail as the film goes on.
It makes more sense as things roll along.
Because they start you out in the dark, essentially.
Rolling down the highway.
Exactly, which is actually a good allusion to the film.
Yeah.
The film looks gorgeous. The script is incredible. Any kind of special effects or CG in it are so subtle that it's almost beautiful. And it's not overly long. This is one of the best bets you're going to find on Blu-ray right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out for sure. It's fantastic, especially if you're into science fiction.
Yeah.
It was almost like an ode to Steven Spielberg as well.
I called it Southern Fried Spielberg.
Southern Fried, okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Just because it has a South attitude to it.
That's true.
It really does. So that's why. It's kind of why I called it that.
Yeah, that's a great pick, man. I enjoyed that movie immensely.
Yeah. What you got this week?
For me, okay. So I didn't realize, but we haven't. We did review it, Zootopia, which is one of the best animated films of the year so far.
Yes.
And it's made a lot of money.
Yeah, lots.
And
lots.
It's now available. Actually, it's been available now for probably just over a week on VOD.
Yes.
And so, if people who don't know that, it's a fantastic film to rent. Got a clip right here for you.
Excuse me? Down here? Hi.
O.M. goodness. They really did hire a bunny. What? I gotta tell you, you are even cuter than I thought you'd be.
Ooh, you probably didn't know, but a bunny can call another bunny cute, but when other animals do it, it's a little...
I am so sorry. Me, Benjamin Clawhauser. The guy everyone thinks is just a flabby donut-loving cop stereotyping you. Oh.
It's okay. Oh, you've actually got... There's a...
What?
In your neck, the fold... There's...
Oh, here you went, you little Dickens. Oh.
I should get a roll call. So, which way do I...
Oh, bullpen's over there to the left.
Great.
Nathan
Thank you.
Torrance was pretty good in this.
Yeah.
That poor
Yeah,
little
I
bunny's
always
gonna get eaten
enjoy
by-
him. He's very underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one of my like I said, one of my favorite, not just animated films of the year, one of my favorite films of the year, just because of the undertones throughout that film. That's really, really important. Some of the messages that came out of it, really important in this day and time, about acceptance, but also about, race relations and things like that we're seeing play out in real life.
Yeah, no
this
doubt.
film is, definitely touches on it. Jennifer Goodwin is Judy Hopps, a little bunny who leaves her farm life and family and is going to go be a police officer in the big city of Zootopia. And she meets up with Nick Wilde, played by Jason Bateman. And they kind of team up together, and basically are solving a mystery. And she's got a certain amount of time she's got to do it because she wants to fit in and be a police officer really bad. So they're giving her a shot.
Yeah.
Instead of just giving out parking tickets. It's not only is it a great message in the film, kids are gonna really like it. Parents and just anybody is gonna love it because there's humor for everybody.
Yeah.
Some of the pop culture references, some of the humor in it is just really, really well done. Like I said, one of my favorite movies, and so it's on VOD. Find it on your iTunes machine, and you can rent it. It's a good little time to hang out.
Yeah,
with
I
your
liked
family.
it. I liked it. I was a little late to it because I
You were.
didn't get to see it in the advance, but I did check it out within its second week. So
What was better, Zootopia or Finding Dory? Because really, ultimately,
Zootopia.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Is it up your favorite to win for best animated
Yeah, I think
film
so.
right now?
So far, yeah. I think it's up there for sure.
It'll be nominated.
Oh, for sure.
Along with
Yeah.
Finding Dory.
Yeah, Finding
I would
Dory will
assume.
be as well. Yeah, but I think Zootopia is the better film. Honestly,
both excellent though.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, so let's see what's going on in Hollywood with the news this week, everybody.
News.
Hello, and welcome back to another exciting news flash from Flix Anonymous. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Cannabis in Canada. Give me Cannabis in Canada.
Alrighty, so it's been a while since anyone talked about Death Wish, I guess. It's been a little while. I mean, Canon Films brought Death Wish back in the 80s and buried, Charles Bronson in shitty movies for the rest of his life. And then James Wan made Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon in the early 2000s, which
Right.
I actually kind of dig as a movie. But now the Death Wish remake is finally moving forward.
Oh.
Eli Roth is going to direct his first ever studio-made film.
Okay, I like Eli Roth.
Joe Carnahan, who wrote Smoking Aces and did The Grey and did the A-Team movie and a few other movies, is writing the script, and Bruce Willis is attached to star.
Okay.
It's,
There's some potential there, man.
There is.
Some
There is
potential. In the
definitely
writing
potential.
for sure.
Yes.
Directing Eli Roth is not everybody's,
No,
cup
it's not
of
everybody's
tea.
cup of tea, no.
He can be a little bit excessive. Sometimes he's not always the best storyteller. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
a Joe Carnahan script, he's not the storyteller. He's just he's just the eye at this point.
Yeah, which he does have. There are some scenes that Eli Roth does. There's some things that Eli Roth does really, really well.
Yes.
And so I think he can definitely bring something to the film. So I think that I already like that combination of directing and writing. And then Bruce Willis, I mean, I guess he can pull it off for
he's
sure.
He's an action hero.
Old action
Right?
hero, because that's
Yeah.
what Bronson was.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So yeah, who knows? Who knows?
I just don't like this rebooting thing, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
it just
I don't
shows-
think there needed to be a film.
No, and it just shows where Hollywood's at. Like we're always constantly the needle is either on sequel or remake, reboot, and rarely do we push it over to original. Rarely. It's rare. It's rare.
I would like to see Bruce Willis in a role like that because he is a lot older now and apparently a lot more crotchety.
Yeah.
I've heard.
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see him in a role like that, but I just don't like him as Charles Bronson.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I'll
weird.
still go.
Yeah, exactly. The three of them working together, and if Bruce is having fun with the movie, then the movie actually may turn out. If he's just phoning it in, it's going to be shit. So, as he's known to do.
I think he could have some fun with Eli Roth.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Or unless they get on each other's nerves, and then that movie's going to turn out like shit.
Yeah. You never know with Bruce Willis.
Exactly. All right, so Alien Covenant is it's currently filming right now because we have gotten Ridley Scott sent out screenshots of Catherine Waterston, who is the lead of the film. Danny McBride now on the bridge of the ship and everything. We've seen a slight picture of Michael Fassbender as well. But what about the star? What about the lead character from Prometheus, who was slated not to return in Alien Covenant? Well, it turns out Noomi Rapace is in Alien Covenant. She is reprising her role as a scientist from Prometheus, a movie that I couldn't fucking stand.
I didn't mind it.
I was so sold by the trailers, and I was just so undersold by the movie. I was just so unhappy with it. But Alien Covenant looks really interesting to me, and the fact that Noomi Rapace is back is also interesting to me as well. This movie's coming like a juggernaut right now. It's like halfway through filming.
You're looking forward to it?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Ridley Scott.
I'm curious. I need some redemption. Because for me, Prometheus was a waste of my time and money.
Did you like The Martian?
Yes, I did. Okay. Quite a bit. So yeah, no, that brought Ridley back to great filmmaking, like Blade Runner style filmmaking. So
yeah.
Let's hopefully that continues on into Alien Covenant, because he's on a roll right now. So we'll see. All right, and the third one, this is a sad one. An actor I absolutely adore, Anton Yelchin, passed away this past weekend at the age of 27 in a freak accident.
Yeah.
He got pinned between his Jeep and the gate and brick mortar of his house, and his friends found him dead. And this is an actor with an immense body of work behind him. Did some really great way in this movie this year alone. Green Room is my second favorite movie this year. He led that film. He did a successful remake of Fright Night, which is fantastic. Of course, he's Chekhov in all three of these Star Trek movies. The new one, now Star Trek Beyond, is dedicated to him as well. I'm sure that Leonard Nimoy probably has a dedication in there as well. But this one's sad. Like, Leonard Nimoy was, he had a great life, and Anton Yelchin was on his way to an Academy Award, 100%.
Yeah,
like the kid was great.
I agree.
And the acting world is a little less bright, missing out on Anton Yelchin. So definite thoughts to his family and everything. That's brutal.
So basically it was the Jeep that flipped, right? Because there was a recall issue.
A recall on a rolling issue. It's a handbrake rolling issue.
Yeah.
That it would just release, and it just pinned him against the wall, and he suffered an asphyxia and died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I know it's a bummer. Man. It's a bummer, and I really hated to bring it to news, but I just really wanted to acknowledge Anton Yelchin as the fantastic actor that he is, and it's sad.
And we put that right before.
So let's get a little enlightened this week with
change the mood.
Change the mood. Let's bring it up. Bring it way up with our stoner picks.
Get high.
All right, so I am going classic this time.
Okay.
You see it on memes all the time. It's referenced constantly, and this week it's 45 years old. I'm just gonna throw to the clip.
This is your stoner flick?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Must show you this. Lickable wallpaper for nursery walls. Lick an orange. It tastes like an orange. Lick a pineapple. It tastes like a pineapple. Go ahead, try it.
Great memories of this movie.
I got a plum.
So many good memories. This movie is so
fantastic. Great. It tastes so real.
Try some more. The strawberries taste like strawberries. The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Snozberries? Who ever heard of a snozberry?
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
How incredible is Gene Wilder in Willy Wonka and
He's
the Chocolate
fantastic.
Factory?
I think he was better than Johnny Depp.
Oh, they never should even touch that movie. That Tim Burton thing is just an absolute fucking abomination.
Well,
they changed him into a fucking child molester. Essentially. No, Johnny Depp has said that he based that character slightly on Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. You can see it.
It bothers me, the bastardization of that movie.
Well, because it's a dark book.
It is a dark book.
Doll. wrote it.
Yeah, Roald Dahl, yeah.
Yeah, and it is a dark book, and I think what happened was Tim Burton saw, this version and thought it was maybe too light to, happy, happy, dance, dance, sing, sing, and candy. And then, so I think Tim Burton, like Tim Burton does, wanted to give it that sort of dark and edge, and that's what they tried to do with it. But I agree, man. This Gene Wilder version is an absolute classic. I have great memories of, my teacher rolling in the VCR and TV that we used to have back when we were in elementary school. They'd roll it in.
All in one.
Yeah, and we'd all sit on the floor, and we put this on because we read the book, and then we got to watch the movie at the end. That was the payoff, right?
Yeah.
And on a Friday afternoon, we'd spent 2 hours eating popcorn on the floor watching this, and I just fell in love with the movie. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And I watched it so many times as a child. Of course, there's that amazing nightmare sequence of them going through the tunnel. In the boat.
The acid trip.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the scene where the chicken gets his head chopped off in the background. It's just so dark. It is so dark and sinister in that part.
Yeah.
That scene is great.
And then near the end where he starts yelling at them. When Willy Wonka starts yelling at
Charlie and his grandfather.
His grandfather, sorry. But yeah,
well, the film is dark because what happens to the kids? Really?
I know.
Really, what happens to the kids? When they all go off, what happens to them, So, I mean, it is dark, but, I mean, you could watch this movie, light up a doob, and watch this movie, and still have that childlike wonder you did when you first saw it.
It's always on TV.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And there's collector's edition Blu-ray for it. There are many different ways that you can check out Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Definitely one to keep in your library, stoner flick or not.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, well, you got me mesmerized in that. Great pick, bro. So I picked Steve Jobs, The Man in the Machine, a documentary. Yes. So I went documentary with my stoner flick, which I think is kind of cool. We can do, Cheech and Chong and do whatever for stoner flicks, but to me that's just so cliche. There's so many movies that I like to watch, stoned, and one thing that I really love to watch is documentaries. Steve Jobs, The Man in the Machine. Alex Gibney directs it, who is just a master documentarian filmmaker. He's just, he's done so many great films. But Man in the Machine, here's a clip.
One of the things that Steve thought was important and Jerry Manick facilitated was this is where all the signatures are, and there are all the people, the original group.
He got fucked over.
That actually signed the machine. There's Steve Jobs, right in the middle. My name is over here.
Why did you do that?
Because the people that worked on it consider themselves, and I certainly consider them, artists. These are the people that under different circumstances would be painters and poets, but because of that time that we live in, this new medium has appeared in which to express oneself to one's fellow species. And that's a medium of computing.
Yeah. So if you're going to go and watch this and think you're going to get a nice film, about Steve Jobs and,
how great he
was and how he connected the world and he created all these fantastic toys that we like to use, sometimes use an iPad, sometimes use my iPhone. I'm a Mac guy, okay? I like using Macs. But what Alex Gibney does is he takes that love that people have and some of the craziness that people have towards Apple and kind of turns it on its head and actually shows you he kind of pulls the curtain back on Apple a little bit and basically takes no prisoners, really. Steve Jobs is not painted in the best of lights. I think he was very eccentric. He definitely considers him an artist, and he was an artist. But just sort of this massive outpouring of when he passed away that people had. They go to those Apple stores and put down flowers and then how people were crying on the internet, on YouTube. It's just this massive cult-like thing that goes on with Apples. A lot of Apple people, they go a little crazy. And it kind of shows you the cult behind it. And it's kind of funny because he did a documentary, Alex Gibney did a documentary on Scientology.
Yes.
I'm not going to say Scientology and being a Mac nerd are the same thing, it's not.
That is a damning statement there.
No, but it's Going Clear was the documentary, the HBO documentary we're talking about. But Yeah, man, it's just, it doesn't paint Apple in the greatest of lights, but it does give tribute to the achievement that they did, because we're all connected. But the problem was that Steve Jobs couldn't connect with human beings.
Yeah.
And he was just a complete dickhead. He was an absolute asshole, Steve Jobs. And Apple, this whole mantra of, making the world a better place was bullshit. They didn't give hardly any money to charities or anything. What was going on in China with their phones and just people are like plummeting to their death from the company that they were using in China. The Chinese workers were like jumping off they were committing suicide and just because it's just the working conditions were terrible, and Apple was okay with it. They never went out and changed it, and Steve Jobs always had excuses. I'm ranting and rambling on. That's just honestly, it's smoke a doob, watch it, or just whatever. Just it's such a good film, and like I said, I'm still gonna love Mac.
Yeah.
Okay, but we don't need to worship Steve Jobs like he was, the second coming of Einstein.
Yeah,
because he was a very good businessman. That's for sure.
And Gibney is the perfect person to attack this.
Yes.
Because he's very much a deconstructional documentarian.
Great way of putting it.
He just loves to pull things apart and look at the inner workings and look at the problems and point out the problems as well. So yeah. I always enjoy that about his filmmaking.
So it's on Netflix, which is exciting. Just one click of the button or 2 clicks, and very well worth your time.
Beautiful. So that brings us to the end of the Mika Kiprasov episode of Flix Anonymous, number 34. You can find me on Twitter at the Stevil Dead.
I'm on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter.
At Trev Dueck.
Beautiful. And what's going on next week? We have 8 films next week.
Holy dynamite.
3 of them are in wide release, including Steven Spielberg's Return to Family Films, which also has to do with Roald Dahl as well.
Yeah.
We have a very timely named Purge sequel coming as well, and the reboot of Tarzan. Limited releases, we have a Ewan McGregor thriller from John le Carré.
Yep.
We have a documentary on one of cinema's greatest heavyweights, one of the big directors, along with Lucas, Spielberg, Coppola, Scorsese, and who's that 5th one? Do you know? That's who the director is. Also a documentary about a disgraced political figure, and a new film from acclaimed Italian director Nanni Moretti.
Huh?
Next week.
Say it sexy.
Nanni Moretti. It's called Mia Madre. Anyway, that's what we'll be talking about next week. Thank you to everybody at Cannabis in Canada for giving us our home here, our wonderful studio. We love you so much.
This is CLN for Cannabis Life Network.
And that will become very apparent very soon.
New branding coming.
New branding's
very
coming.
Very exciting stuff.
Of course, you can also find us on theleagueofmanchildren.com and the Daily Hive, which is national.
Which is national.
That's
Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto. Yeah.
National. National. Thank you.
Not Saskatoon or Regina.
No, not yet. Not yet. Or maybe we're glad handing that. I don't know.
Not Thunder Bay.
Not Thunder Bay or Sarnia or Sault Ste. Marie.
We're not there yet. We haven't hit those markets.
PI or Newfoundland.
No, we haven't done
or
the
New
Newfies
Brunswick
yet.
Or none of it.
We should probably go.
I'm just going to start naming off provinces. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time on Flix Anonymous. Northwest Territories. Yukon. Yellowknife.
Dwight Wirtz.
Hey, you crazy cinephiles. Thanks for listening to Flix Anonymous. We can be heard weekly on vancitybuzz.com and leagueofmanchildren.com. Feel free to send us nasty and abusive social media messages on Twitter at FlixAnon. If you need more characters to tell us how much we suck, you can find Flix Anonymous on Facebook. Until next week, may your weed be stinky and your scotch be hoppy.